Hello, hello. Here is Agi again with some deep thoughts for you from Broadcast Team Alpha. I want to talk a little bit about the principles that super successful people work by, what they do, and if you do the same things, it should work also for you. I've been very lucky. I've been associating with and studied billionaires and super successful people. And this is some of the things that I found. This could probably be one of the most important videos to see this year. So stay to the end of this one because you'll be better for it. And well, if it works for billionaires and super successful people, it will also work for you because universal principles are constant. Details vary. If you are in business, like to be in business or be better at your job, or just like to have a better harmonious family, these principles will work with all of that. Let me just lay down a little bit of foundation first so you can better understand the details I'm going to mention later. To become successful at anything, we should study and learn from the ones that have done it successful before. But as a billionaire told me one time, I also study the ones who fail because I want to know what they did, so I don't have to do the same mistake. See, business and running a successful family life is just like going through a minefield. That is why I have this saying that when you go through a minefield, follow somebody with bigger shoes than you have, or one that has made it across and back and know the route. That is why I wrote this book, Universal Success Principles and How Billionaires Think. In this book, there are many of the principles and techniques of the wealthy and super successful people in the world. Their techniques and what they do are explained on the physical, mental, and spiritual level of existence. Consider this. There are 3 ways to make money. First one, trading time for money. You go to work, you come home. You go to work, you come home. You go to work, you come home. Now you get sick, can't go to work. You probably have a little bit of buffer there, but eventually if you can't go back to work, the income stream will stop. Think deeply on that. Those of you that are engaging in that form of making money. Now, the second one is investments. You probably don't know it, or maybe you do, but most people are losing money in the market today. They are either losing it on the screen or losing it in form of inflation. Now, you can make money with passive investments in real estate and a lot of different things, but you're subject in one way or the other to the market. Now, the third one, that is duplication of time. Think about that. There was a guy named J. Paul Getty. He was the richest man in the world in the 1950s. He wrote a book called How to Be Rich by J. Paul Getty. In there, there's some principles. And he said at one point that I would rather have 1% of the production of 100 people than 100% of the production of one man. What would happen if that one man gets sick or killed in an accident? He loses 100% of his income. What will happen if you had 100 people and one of them gets sick? You still get the income of 99 people. So think about that. There are some things that we need to do. First of all, we need to know what we want. If we don't know what we want, how in the world can other people know what we want so they can help us get what we want? Or better yet, if we don't know what we want, how can the universe or the universal consciousness, or God, if you will, help us get what we would want? Another thing is, we must know what we are willing to give up temporarily in order to get what we want. That could be time. If you start out a business, you may have to work a little extra hours in the first year or two to get things stabilized. Or you may want to give up a little bit of investment that you put into it. And you may want to give up other things that you can think of. Number 3, you have to associate with positive, successful people who are willing to help you get what you want. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to associate in person. You associate with people when you read their books, watch their videos, listen to their speeches. All those things are a form of association where you're brainstorming with them, you absorb what they know and what they talk about. Number 4, plan your work in your mind first, and then work your plan and never take your eye off your goal. I was sitting in the living room of a billionaire about 25 years ago, and he said something that stuck with me, and he says, I don't start any new project unless I work it out totally in my mind first. I know what it's going to look like, what it's going to feel like, who's going to be there with me working, where it's going to be, how it's going to be put together. I know all that. I wrap that thing up and I hand it to a competent person that I think can carry it out. And then I explain my vision to him or her. And then I walk away. It's all up to him. And it usually works good. Number 5 is engage your mind in higher conscious thinking. That means, again, hang around people that, you heard the saying, associate up. Yeah, there's something to that. If you want to do something, find somebody that has done it successfully, crawl into their mind and dig out everything you need to know about that thing you want to do. Another thing is, you really should meditate. Most super successful people, they take time out for themselves every day. They meditate, engage in quiet contemplation or prayer. Because in that state of mind is when you communicate with the universal mind where everything is, and you can draw on other people's knowledge and expertise and resources. Think about that. And also expect the unexpected good things to happen. You don't care where it comes from. Expect good things to happen. Another thing is, learn how to delegate and do not become a workaholic. If you are a man and you're a family man and you're a workaholic, you got probably around a 90% chance of getting divorced. Think on that. I can testify to it. And also, principles by which you create great wealth come through that you always must be in private business. You don't create great wealth normally by working for someone else. Yeah, I know. Some of the CEOs of major corporations make $30 million. At their level of success, is that great wealth, or what did they pay with to get that? Sometimes they pay a price that makes them not necessarily sleep well at night. If you are in control of your circumstances, that comes through being in private business. So think on that too. Also, you must be in a demand item or service. You know, really think about it. There's a lot of things that's not selling very good today, and a lot of people are hurting because of that. So be involved in something that everybody needs. And then out-service the competition. That means guarantee your product or service 100%, no questions asked. Think about that too. Another thing that you need to do, being in business, and even in a family, if you got a youngster's got a weekly allowance, pay on their performance, not just a set thing every week. If they do extra things to help out in the family, give them extra money. You must pay on performance and not by title only. There can be a base pay, but up and beyond that, when they perform extraordinarily, make sure they are rewarded for it. That creates loyalty. And also remember, true success is only available through the success and satisfaction of other people. Now here's some consideration for an ideal business for you. You must be paid on performance and what the performance is worth. You must have a continuous income, so you make money at night when you're sleeping. It must have great tax advantages. And the work must be fun. Remember the saying, find something you love to do and you will never work a day in your life. So I have pretty much been lucky enough to do that. And also, what you do must have the capability to create financial freedom. And also, you need 3 different types of goals. You need short-range goals that could be for the next 4 hours. So it could be in the next day or 3, or it could be a week. Then you need medium-range goals. And that could be for the next week or the next month. A long-range goal could be for months, maybe this next year or this year, or a lifetime goal. And you need to review those every day. Things changes when you do. And remember also, a goal is only a dream until you put a date on it. Don't worry about calendar dates. Calendar dates don't mean a thing to the universe. Make it a time-coded event, like a Christmas party, a New Year's party, birthday next year, or a meeting, New Year's meeting, 3 years from now when you celebrate what you have accomplished. It should be a time-coded event, not a date on a calendar, because that doesn't mean anything. The universe does not really understand the calendar very much, but it can create within the concept of a group of people being together, having high emotion and good feelings when you have visualized that into existence. Have your goals written down and review them every day. Write it down. Something happens when you write it down. When you read it, it goes into one part of the brain. When you see it, it goes into another part of the brain. When you write it down, it goes into the third part of the brain. It has a more deeply created concept embedded in your brain and the mind. Create a vision board with pictures, phrases, statements, and things on it that means something to you. And look at that vision board, stare at it, and go into a meditative state, looking at each one of the pictures and everything on there. Visualize what you want in colorful images and fill it with emotion, intention, gratitude for already having it, and loving feelings. Seeing other people enjoying it with you after you have succeeded. That is powerful. It is these principles that make, if it makes sense to you, go with it. You should read the rest of the story in the book, Universal Success Principles and How Billionaires Think. In fact, there it is. Get in touch with me and you can get this one. And you can also find it at a catalog. It's Tools for Freedom, and you can call 800-770-8802 and ask for the book catalog order number 9085. And you can get it also directly to you. Now, this is something that some of you know some of this already, but you need to hear it again. See, if you know these principles, listen to this over again, take notes and write it down, create the vision board, write down your goals, decide who you're gonna work with, bring them into the fold of what you're doing. And you start working by success principles. The details will fall into place. The people will come and join you without you even thinking of it. The universe will get in the game with you. Nothing can stop you. I want you to think about this one. Run this again and see what you think, and then go do something with it. You'll be surprised what you can create. So until then, click the subscribe button if you like what you heard today, because there's more coming. And when you click the bell next to it, you'll get notification when the next videos are coming up. chances are you will like it. So until then, see you in the next video.